Auto Inc. are proud sponsors of motorsports in Singapore and across the region. Driven by excellence, driven by passion, driven by speed. Get on board and share the ride with Auto Inc.
Also here today, it's been absolutely great to see the turnout here. We've got a lot of the Auto Inc. crew here in the grandstands here today. They've all turned up in big numbers wearing Auto Inc. logos left, right, and center. Everywhere I look in this place, I just see nothing but Auto Inc. Great support from them here, specializing in luxury lifestyle, in car brokering, selling the big brands, including Lamborghini, Porsche, and Ferrari, and also other continental brands, including Audi, BMW, and Mercedes-Benz. So a big special thank you and a big shout out to all the guys at Auto Inc. for making this fantastic event possible. So Ben, have a good lunchtime, do well.
It was a productive, relaxing, enjoyable lunchtime, thanks Yuey.
Cool man, it looks like this afternoon seeing a little bit more of the cool dudes coming down. We've got Colin Chow from Eurohouse Tuning. Eurohouse specializing in the maintenance and repairs of the high-end German manufacturers, including Audi, Volkswagen, and Porsche. So great to see Colin Chow here amongst the midst today.
Great to see the promo girls back as well.
Oh yeah, let's not forget the SKC models. I mean, I saw a few of the faces here earlier on. They were familiar from the last round, so a big special thank you for the models to brighten up our days and make the SKC that little bit more fun for all of us.
Giggity giggity. All right, so if you weren't here this morning, the first few rounds were action-packed, full of incidents, excitement, bumper-to-bumper action. Hopefully we're going to see some more excitement this afternoon. Maybe it was a bit too much excitement this morning. The drivers had a talking to calm things down, use their heads during the race. As the cadets come around for the formation lap, looks nice and tidy. Let's keep an eye on John Lee, kart 233, as there's a nice clean start coming out of the last corner. John Lee leads into the first turn, closely followed by Javier Chung and Rory Elliott there maintaining third position, being attacked by Jaden. But Rory maintains third position. Great drive by him, great start as they enter the back chicane. We have the video screens upstairs, 1 level 2, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see all the action. As they enter the stadium complex.
Hell, this is a much longer race for the cadet class here today. We have 16 laps in this final race. Ben, what do you think? You reckon this length is going to make things easier or harder for Javier?
I think it's going to make things harder. He worked very, very hard in the last round. These guys are a little bit sore. I was talking to them during lunchtime. 16 laps is a hard ask for them. It could determine the championship lead, championship changes here.
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. This heat and the way in which the drivers react throughout the course of this race is going to make a big difference. Obviously, at the start, the top three are all trying to stick close together. Really good effort there from Rory Elliott. He seems to be sticking with them a lot better than in the first round.
Yeah, it's obvious they've made some tweaks to the kart number 174. It's the first round of the SKC. He's a newcomer to the championship here, but all weekend he has shown his dominance. Hopefully he finished third last race. Let's see if he can jump up a few places and mix this championship up a little bit.
Yeah, you know, Javier Chung is going to have to be extremely careful with what happens here, because lap after lap, he's more accustomed to trying to line up John Lee for an overtaking maneuver. But right now, with Rory on the rear end of his go-kart, he's going to have to make sure that he doesn't make any mistakes and lose that position. It could end in tears for Javier Chung.
Yeah, he's really got to concentrate, but so does John Lee in front. We saw him coming into turn 5, going quite wide there. He's going quite wide into turn 2 as well, so he's got to keep an eye on that, because if he goes wide around these corners, it's going to open the door for Javier to just jump straight through and take first position away from him.
Yeah, well, it's a good spotting there, man, because right now Rory on the last couple of corners did go a little bit wide. He looks like he has lost just a little bit of distance on the last lap. He was 7/10 of a second away from the front pack as they just about to cross the line. And they come through. Rory is now 1 second away from the leaders, so he's starting to lose them a little bit. Not good news there for Rory.
And we see Javier looking on the inside of John Lee there on turn 2, but he doesn't make it stick. Like we said, John Lee's going a little bit too wide. Maybe he's losing some grip with his tires.
Well,
Rory's
definitely tire wear is going to play a little bit of a part as the race progresses. It looks like Javier's got a little bit more speed on John than usual. So this has got to be good news to keeping his championship hopes alive.
Maybe Rory's using his brain a little bit and thinks that Javier and John Lee can take each other out, which would give him a perfect opportunity to take advantage of that and take the lead. But he's got to put his foot down soon. We're 5 laps into this 16-lap race. It looks like a lot of drivers are losing grip out there. Are they using the same tires from last round, or would they be using fresh?
I reckon that a lot of them will be using tires from last round. A lot of them would have, they have 2 sets of marked tires during the weekend, so definitely they would have saved the second set for this race, for these 2 races this afternoon. But, given said that, a lot of the driving styles are increased tire wear, some decreased tire wear. We saw in the veteran category a little bit earlier on in the day, Kenny Yip going sideways quite a lot. Extremely good when the tires are new, but as those tires got older, Anthony Xiao had a little bit of a jump on him, so really important how you treat those tires.
So just for the public who are watching maybe their first time go-karting, we see a lot of these drivers as they're going down the straight, they seem to be leaning forward with their heads forward, right? Is that doing something to the performance of the car?
Yeah, right now as they lean their heads forwards, they're trying to get a little bit of bounce so those wheels get spinning a little bit faster. These go-karts are good when they're under momentum, but when they get slowed down and they have to pick up that acceleration again, sometimes it's a little bit bog-like. So they're just trying to make sure they get out of these corners okay and make sure that they get the fastest lap that they could get. But you know, right now, as we stop talking about that, we've got John Lee that's created a little bit of a gap to Javier Chung now, 8/10 of a second, and Rory Elliott 1.6 seconds off John Lee. So that space is starting to build, Ben.
Yeah, that's basically a second that Rory Elliott has lost in the past couple of laps. Either John Lee is putting the foot down, he's found some extra power, or the other drivers are getting a little bit tired out there. But it seems like our first, second, and third are quite evenly distributed now. But like we said, it's only halfway now, lap 8 out of 16. Anything can happen. Fatigue might set into John Lee's mind.
Well, right now in the bottom half of the grid, we've got Josh Lee leading that pack. He's currently in 5th place. We have Jaden in 6th and Pavan in 7th. So these guys, as usual, they're going to be fighting it out again. You can just see the train of them coming. Yeah, we have Josh Lee there and his Mika Hakkinen look-alike helmet there, and just behind him in car weight 180, Jaden. Pavan in 7th place, a little bit lower than he would have liked, but he's been driving solid all weekend, so no reason for Pavan to be pleased with his performance. As they come through for the start of the 10th lap, we have John Lee in 1st place, Javier Chung in 2nd, Rory Elliott in 3rd place, Lucas Meister in 4th, and Josh Lee in 5th. So man, Rory seems to be losing more and more time over the course of the race. What do you think is going on through Rory's mind right now? We can see it on the timesheets. He's losing a bit of time.
Yeah, he's nearly losing a second a lap. Hopefully it's just a little bit of fatigue happening here. Hopefully there's no problem to his kart, because this guy has just been an absolute star this weekend. But I can't blame them. These young kids here, they've had a hard weekend. It's catching up to them.
Well, you know, just a reminder for those in the viewing gallery, that here today we have the Autowink SKC models, and if you go and take a picture with them on that Polaroid, that will give you the chance to get a free beer. Ben, tell me about beer. Do you like beer?
I'm having a beer, but I don't remember getting my photo taken with any girls.
Yeah, well, I guess you missed out, mate. All the lucky chaps on the viewing gallery get a photo with the SKC girls and a beer, so it looks like you've been shortchanged, mate.
Good to see we got some glamour happening here.
Glamour.
Not to say, there's been glamour downstairs as well all weekend.
Razzmatazz. And all right, as we come into the 12th lap of the race, we've only got 4 laps to go. John Lee still leading, now pulling out a gap of 2.5 seconds to second place Javier Chung, and Rory Elliott now a full 5 seconds off the pace.
Yeah, another dominant drive by John Lee. This is going to do wonders for his championship lead. He's going to increase it by several more points as Rory goes past the back marker there.
Yeah, the blue flag was just about to come out, but good passing by there. Great driving from Russell Arvin. He knew those top-end championship karts were coming, and he did not get away in the race. So beautiful driving there from Russell.
So we've only got 3 laps to go in this race.
We know it's really important for these back markers to try and give a chance to the championship leaders to not wreck their championships. We saw Santosh Balakrishnan earlier today taking Gabriella off and really putting a dent in her championship hopes. So let's just make sure that these guys know what's going on and keep the driving safe.
Yeah, no comment. Practice makes perfect, though.
Practice does make perfect. This is a developing series. You see the drivers getting by the second, and right now we have a very happy young gentleman filling out a form in a white hat with the SKC models. It looks like he likes some beer. He's going. Will he get the beer? He's looking over at it. There's all to play for.
He's got his hands around the waist. Smile, cheese. Yeah, done.
And John Lee now is on the last lap of his race. He knows it's only a couple of corners from the end. As he comes around through the complex, we also see Javier Chung some 3.5 seconds behind him. And John Lee comes through to the last corner of the race. And the checker flag is out. John Lee punches the air. He's pretty happy about that.
Yeah, that's done wonders for his championship lead now. I think he's really going to be untouchable for the last round of the SKC Championship.
Actually, I got to say, he's put 10 points ahead of him today.
We have a very close battle for 4th position coming across the line. Josh just couldn't do anything on Lucas Maestra. Another dominant drive by Lucas Maestra. He missed out on last round, but he's put in a solid performance this weekend. I think he's going to be someone to contend with in the future, young Lucas.
Also great stuff there from Javier Chung. He's done enough to bring the SKC title into the 5th round of the series. So John Lee's going to have to go down to the finale to win the championship there. So Chung not going to make it easier for the professor.